an ankle that is needed for, let's say, hiking to just walking. Yes, you would want a complex ankle and body part, but the ankle does not need to be nearly as complex for walking around as it would need to be for hiking. Hiking has not all smooth terrain, and you want an ankle that can work with you when stepping on uneven and unsmooth objects. For example, a rock. Rocks are not flat, they're slick. So engineers have designed spring-like items that don't just go up and down, but can also allow for side-to-side movement without the prosthetic falling apart under tension. And when it comes to limited flexibility, you don't want an ankle that will just completely fall over. You want one that will work with you and won't just completely collapse under a little bit of pressure. You want something that's smooth and is, in an S, easier to work with. Each prosthetic needs to be made for its specific idea and item that is designed for the user's day-to-day use. Someone who's walking around town will have a very different prosthetic compared to someone that is trying to go on long distance hikes and off terrain. Active prosthetic ankles, motor powered real-time adjustments. So the technology is becoming very advanced in today's era compared to back in the day when it would just be a wooden prosthetic. We're looking at prosthetics that motor powered. So when it moves around, the prosthetic will be able to keep up with each other and keep up with the active other limb. Whether it be step to step or jumping, people want to be able to have that motor function without having their ligament that's left be tired or worn out. Because having a quad for example, a knee up is a lot better than having from above the knee up. You can still have the knee joint that can move and doesn't need to be powered in two different places. It only needs to be powered around the ankle area. I would say that a runner who has a loss of limb below the knee will have a much easier time than someone who has a loss of limb above the knee. Losing a limb above the knee means you have to have a prosthetic knee on top of the motor-powered ankle joint. So you ultimately need two motor-powered joints of the ankle and the knee, which is very complex as the idea of two parts is harder to master than just one. One item, aka the ankle joint, is much easier to design than a knee that moves along with the ankle. Two parts compared to one. Bio and powered ankle example. MIT Bio propels users forward. This is an example of a motor-powered ligament, as the prosthetic is biomechanically modified to work with the user and is helped to be manually moved forward. Helps to show that the user doesn't have to have necessarily the strength to move in different ways, but that the user can have the prosthetic to have its back, per se, when it comes to moving in different directions. It's a very cool technology, as the ligament doesn't need to just be, the ligament that's left doesn't need to be the only thing that is powering the movement of the body. This is what BioAM is trying to do by having a electrically modified leg move for you, compared to a purely based on the body part that is still left. Emotional impact. Prosthetics have a huge part in emotional impact. The person can feel whole again. They don't have to feel handicapped when they have a prosthetic on. They can be able to move freely and not have to worry so much as the different variations of their body part. They can feel like a whole person without judgment. Like, for example, someone who has no legs will need to have a wheelchair with someone that pushes them around, and someone who doesn't have the prosthetic will have to have help when getting wheeled around in different scenarios. Looking forward on the future of prosthetics, AI, brain signal control, and cheaper and lighter. So AI, as you know, is very advanced and is advancing quicker each day. It's hard to say where AI will be in the future, but AI will help control the world. They are trying to design a brain signal that can help control the prosthetic from your brain down without the prosthetic having to be manually moved. It's a very cool ideal, as manual prosthetics get tiring, they're hard to deal with, and in most cases are non-cooperative when coming to the movement of them. So being able to have a brain signal power the movement of the body part is super important and is a crazy idea that the community has started to develop and come up with. Accessibility and innovation, insurance issues, funding needed. So these companies are doing GoFundMes, fundraisers, and other variations of ways to fund their projects and future technology methods. As you know, prosthetics can be very expensive. An average prosthetic costs around $5,000, and AI-powered prosthetic costs upward of $20,000, which is crazy to think about. But these people are having to pay that much money to get back to their normal day-to-day life, and the idea of that is amazing and helps allow a sense of freedom. So people are willing to pay whatever it costs to do that, which goes to show that having a prosthetic is so much, allows the person to have so much of their function and power back. Conclusion: critical for human mobility, and technology meets humanity. So having a prosthetic leg is a massive benefit to an average person's day-to-day life when limb loss occurs. Limb loss and limb figuration to the body is crucial for a human's day-to-day life and getting back on their feet. Thank you.